look at that hair. It's amazing.
Oh, no, I need a cut. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm in the winter months and I'm off tour, so I can grow it. I like to see how far it can go, you know. Yeah.
how long have you had off?
We finished just I'm trying to think, probably about a month ago now. We finished a tour with Sleeping with Sirens. And I've got like about 6 weeks left home. So
Wow.
yeah.
How
So
long is the next run?
well, it's quite. I'm honestly, it's quite a fun few months ahead. I'm going on my honeymoon for 3 weeks at the beginning of the year
Hmm.
in Tokyo, in Japan, and then I meet the band there. We play 3 shows in Japan, and then we head to Australia, and then we go to America. So it's like, so I'm away for a long time, but 3 of those are like normal human pleasures rather than band work, I guess. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So, mate, yeah, look, like we spoke in October last year before your tour with, gosh, who was it? I can't
yeah. I was
recall.
gonna say, nice t-shirt.
You had just got engaged and now you are married.
Yeah.
How is married life treating you?
Great, man. I think the main thing that I've learned is like getting engaged is a big thing. It's like, oh my God, because at that moment you've revealed to this person that you're actually not full of crap, and you're actually gonna, you've committed to, spend your life with them. But then at the same time, like getting married is weirdly kind of the same. If you love somebody and you try and
Yeah.
make life fun every day, you wake up married one day, and the only difference is the ring on your finger, really. So it's like, it was amazing. It's been as amazing as always it has been, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah,
I
yeah.
try to tell people, I've been married 16 years, that if you
Nice.
get married to someone and all of a sudden things change, then you probably shouldn't marry them. Like there's something else
Yeah,
going on there.
yeah, man. But yeah, it's going well. So.
Now, mate, you me at six, calling it a day, as we all know. And in
Mm,
our interview with a member of that band, I can't off the top of my head recall who it was, he told me that they made the decision to split partly because they didn't kind of want to stick around for their decline. Like they wanted to stick it
mm,
to get out at a higher level
yeah,
without having to go, everything's dwindling down, and
yeah.
now we're playing a pub in the middle of nowhere. Um, Look, man, what are your thoughts on
I think it's very. Do you know? I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer to that scenario. I've seen some of the best shows of my life have been watching bands that you would consider had fallen off.
that?
But their music still means the world to me. So I had the best time. Or you can look at bands like, I mean, you look at My Chemical Romance, one of my favorite bands of all time. It's like they released, the Black Parade, the biggest album of all time. They released another album after that, which was amazing. Um, and they just disappeared, and they left people wanting more, right? And it's like, it's a weird conversation of like, I can't remember. Do you know, Quentin Tarantino said it quite recently in an interview because he's thinking of stopping directing movies. He was like, you never want to be the last person at a party. And I think that kind of speaks to the Yumi Six situation where it's like, if they wanted to keep going and they wanted to keep playing shows to perhaps dwindling crowds, I would encourage that wholeheartedly because I think music's good for the soul, no matter who you are. But then at the same time, they've been doing it for so long. It's like they deserve a big special farewell, if that makes sense. So I'm glad they're kind of cashing out while they can because this like these shows are going to be amazing.
Yeah, and look, it is probably time to go because I don't think they ever really anticipated the internet age and having a website that literally looks like you meet six.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a good point. A lot. I think it's hard to keep up with. I don't want to sound like an old man myself, but like it's hard to keep up with the kids. It's like
Yeah,
music is an industry that is like fueled and funded by young people finding the things that they love, right? And I think once you kind of maybe outgrow your fan base a little bit, that's a really tough thing to try and learn to live with. I'd say.
yeah. So, what do you say to the rumor that I've just made up for the sake of this interview? That you convinced you, me at six to disband to get rid of the competition.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
Accurate? Yeah.
And
Fair.
well done for guessing
Hey,
correctly.
nothing gets past me, all right? Steel trap.
Yeah.
Mate, last time we spoke, I believe you were working on a comic book. Is that
Ooh, um, to be honest, I still write comic books in my spare time, but I'm very like, like I
I know.
separate the two very much so, and like, yeah.
I was
So I
just
would,
gonna ask how it's going.
yeah, it's going good. I've actually kind of fallen back in love with drawing a little bit. So I've been, that's kind of what I've been enjoying about it. Really, is like I have a creative avenue through music, but like I find creativity just fascinating. So for me, it's like sitting down and writing a script or sitting down and drawing a comic book page. Like those are two completely different kind of forms of creativity. And it's fun with the comic. I get to kind of do them both, I guess. But yeah, I don't think anyone will see or read them for a very, very long time still. So yeah, not that anyone needs to.
Need
So
to.
yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
crap painting, but I still like painting.
Yeah, dude. No, and I'm sure you're not, by the way. That
Yeah.
was awesome. But yeah, I know what you mean. I think it's important to, making art is a very vulnerable thing to do. And I think, if you feel the need to show everybody everything you have for validation's sake,
Hmm.
it can almost go against the principle of art in the first place sometimes.
Yeah, and plus you know, if people know you for one thing and then you show them this other creative enterprise, they're going to think that that other creative enterprise is up at the same level as the art
Exactly.
that you
Yeah.
got into. It's
Yeah.
like,
Their expectations are going to be too high. Like, yeah.
yeah, it's like, oh my God, we're going to see Michael Jordan. Really? Yeah, he's playing golf. I'm like, what?
He's
No.
in He's in the new Space Jam movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, he's not going to be the greatest of all time at everything, right?
No, no.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
nor
Yeah,
should he, the bastard.
no.
um, Now, as we addressed at the start of the interview, you have famously amazing hair. Now, as someone who, are you 30 yet, or are you getting there?
I turned 30 on the 29th of December.
Oh, look out. All right. Well,
Yeah.
let's just say in 10 years or so,
Mm,
things start to creep up and
yeah.
start evacuating. What are your plans? Are you gonna just do a me and just go, no, I'm bald now, or are you gonna hold out to the bitter end?
Honestly, it's a really interesting conversation because it's so prevalent in masculinity right now, right? Like, male, what do they call it? Male pattern baldness is like
Hmm.
a pandemic of its own. So it's like, genuinely, a couple of weeks ago, I was thinking of shaving my head just to see what it looked like. Do you know what I mean? Because like, I would hate to be like beholden to my haircut, if that makes sense. Like, I'd hate to feel like Samson, where I like, I can't exist without like my hair. So it's like, so truthfully, I think, I would be, I mean, hey, no shame in getting a hair transplant if you catch it soon enough or you can afford to do that, maybe. But I don't know, maybe I'd grow the beard out a bit bigger than ever before and see how that looks.
Yeah,
Hopefully come back in 10 years and we'll have this chat
yeah,
again.
easy.
But yeah.
No, mate, because as you can tell from the tone of this interview, because I know you've got a long stretch of press this morning where you are.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Always
know
as
I'm
well.
first off the rank, and there were a bunch of slots. So you're about
Yeah.
to either be really bored or so
Yeah.
I thought I would set the moon by asking some stupid questions. And this kind of between that and that lovely delicious coffee that you're sipping on, this might set you up for
It's a
the
cup of tea.
cup of tea. Of
It's a
course it
English
is. You're
bracky
milking it,
cuppa.
you
Like,
weirdo.
I'm British, bro.
Oh God, you people. How did you colonize the world? Oh,
Yeah.
oh dear. So, with that in mind, who'd win in a fight between holding absence and you me at six?
Oh man, we've just lost our drummer as well, so we're down a number. Like
Oh no!
it's 5v3 at this point. So yeah, even if not, it's not even like a political comment to say that you made six would win.
What's the go with your drummer? Have you got a replacement? Is
Yeah,
he?
we've got we're to be honest, the band's in a place right now where we're trying to evolve and change things up in a fun way, like external of the drummer situation. So we're aware of the fact that we're on something of a tightrope anyway. So I think at the moment it's very much a case of let's right the ship and then maybe work on the crew afterwards.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we've got. I will say though, obviously we have a friend from Wales who we've known for a long, long time, like 10 plus years, who's an amazing drummer who will be doing the first half of next year with us. So we are completely sorted for
Yeah, yeah.
live shows for the foreseeable future. But yeah, we're trying not to like lock anything in quite yet because there's already so much to worry about. You know.
So what was this giant stylistic shift that has made your drummer go, so I can see ya?
Now, to
Uh,
be fair, fortunately, it wasn't. It wasn't like they weren't in tandem. You know what I mean? So there's
yeah,
nothing to
yeah.
worry about. But yeah, I just think to be honest, maybe there's the symptom of the same thing where we're like I said, I'm turning 30. We're all kind of the same age, so we're all in that space now where we've been making music in this industry for 10 years and we've grown up in it, but we're becoming like adults now. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
and I think that can lead to creative or taste changes on one end, but it can also lead to personality evolution and growth. And I think that's kind of what happened with our drummer Ash is we grew apart in many ways, and that's completely normal. And then the same way musically, we're trying to broaden our horizons for the future now, and I think that's kind of normal of our age now as well. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay. So
you snuck a serious question in there.
I know. All right, all right.
Disappointed.
I'll bring it back. I'll bring it back. What are some of the
Yeah.
drawbacks of being really handsome?
Oh, well, thanks, man. I feel like I'm passably handsome, which is has downsides because I'm not amazingly handsome. So I think people like you might put me in a category with genuinely handsome people, and that's a drawback. So, yeah,
Yeah, it's like, sure, I'm handsome. Just never stand me next to Jacob Charlton. Ever. Ever.
yeah, 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 exactly, man. Yeah, that's pretty much on the money. Yeah,
Motherfucker is like a metalcore Mick Jagger. Like,
it's
it's,
absurd. And dude, back to the head shaving thing. I
yeah.
saw him the other day, and he was wearing this fucking like little beanie hat and still looking amazing, and I was like, damn it, like how can you pull it all off, you motherfucker. Yeah.
Have you heard the new? I'm assuming you're mates with them. You've probably heard the whole album, but Nerve just dropped.
Honestly, no, I have this thing where like I like to not hear my friends' music really before it comes out because I've done it in the past where I've heard an album, like I remember hearing The Cold Sun by Load before it came out, and I let it in as well. And like I just feel like I missed out on the fan experience. I think it's really important to be a fan of your friends. So for me, it's like as soon as these bloody interviews are out of the way, I'm gonna finally watch that music video because I just woke up and I go straight onto this. But yeah, I'm really really excited to. I actually saw them 2 days ago. And they were amazing live, and the new song sounded great live, and the reception was really good. So I think this year is going to be next year is going to be a really good year for Thornhill.
I really relate to what you were saying about the fan experience because, from a music journo perspective, I'm getting these albums like sometimes up to almost 2 months before they come
Yeah,
out. And so I'm enjoying them and I want to talk to someone about it, but I fucking can't.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then when it comes out, as is normal, if you've enjoyed an album, you're probably burning out a little bit after 2 months of straight listening to it, right?
Yeah,
So
and I
by the
moved on a
time
bit.
that everyone else hears it, you've probably stopped listening to it every morning. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
it's like I hate that. So I never want that to affect
But
my.
at least when it actually comes out, you can actually listen to it on a streaming platform or something that isn't shithouse because those the things that they'll send you stuff like promo jukebox.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
No, I know. Yeah. And like that's kind of why I don't bother because it's like I don't want people to feel like they have to make a SoundCloud, link with like some sort of like password or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like it's so much hassle. So
the bloody thing keeps crashing. I go, oh god.
yeah.
Mate, lastly, sorry, not a ludicrous question, but also not a dead serious one either. Like, what were some of the albums that changed your life and why?
Woo! Big question. I always go the two that I think are the most important really in the grand scheme of like right pulling me in were like American Idiot was like just blew my mind when I was not at an age where albums mattered. Do you get what I mean? You
Mm.
know, it wasn't like a concept. Like, I didn't even really understand what an album was at that point. But I all I remember thinking is like, Jesus of Suburbia is 9 minutes long, and then Wake Me Up When September Ends is like this acoustic ballad, you know? And I was like, if this thing has that much range within it, like, oh my God, you know, I'm in for a ride. And I guess it's like watching a movie trailer and seeing, you know, a romantic love scene and then like a Godzilla or something. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like I can only comprehend what this is going to become, or how good this is going to be, you know? And oh my God, I love that album so much growing up. And then the real one is, sorry, my ring light is awful. Musicians don't make enough money to buy good ring lights, unfortunately. But yeah, the other one though, I would say the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance, just like is our gen. And I put up a status like 10 years ago saying like, I believe that like the Black Parade is like our generation's Sergeant Pepper, you know, and like, and I had a load of stick for it. People being like, "This is that's a stupid thing to say," and I don't think. Don't get me wrong, Sergeant Pepper's is also one of the best
Yeah, yeah.
albums of all time. But it's, you know, it is a silly thing to compare anything to Sergeant Pepper's. But truthfully, I don't think you could name a more iconic album to have come out in the alt space in the last 25 years, even now. You know what I mean? It's like it's just like such a a force, you know, and every song has been a favorite at some point, and I'm so glad that I discovered those two albums when I did at the ages that I did, because like I had no choice but to become who I am at that point, you know? So yeah.
Did you subscribe to the skinny jeans? I'm picturing you as like proto
Oh,
emo, like
yeah,
proper.
yeah. But also not committal enough to have like dyed my hair black. So like I had a brown fringe, you know what I mean? So it's like full on emo, but also like don't want to upset mum too much either, you know? Yeah.
I, I had that recent someone just put me in the Wayback Machine. Someone randomly posted Stickly, the video for Attack
Oh
Attack.
yeah, man, classic.
It's iconic.
Yeah, dude. And do you know what's cool as well is like um obviously Austin, the one guy went on to do with Mice and Men. Caleb went on to do Beta, and I didn't realize like Bill Murray was in Attack Attack too. You know the band Bill Murray.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah. So he, I think all three of them were in that music video. So it's like 10 years later, it's like, oh my God, like that was like a moment. You could argue that was the Black Parade of the metalcore era, you know? Maybe
It's
not.
well, it's bizarre that yeah, like the connections and the people you meet, you know, particularly in what you and I both do. You know, I interviewed a band recently, and a metalcore band with a violin. You'll probably be familiar with them.
Cool. Yeah.
And I was like, all right, holding absence interview questions. All right, let's see what they've been up to. What the fuck? I'm
I'm
collecting
everywhere, bro.
metalcore bands.
Yeah.
Um, this has been fun. Enjoy as well as you can the rest of your morning of press, and then go watch Thornhill. That's an order. So enjoy.
Legend. So good to see you again, man. Thank you for a lovely chat. See you next
No
time.
worries, mate. Bye.
Take care. Have a good day. Bye.